Everybody there? Matthew 12. And we're going to start at verse 1. At that time, Jesus went through the grain fields on the Sabbath. His disciples were hungry and began to pick some heads of grain and eat them. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to him, "Look, your disciples are doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath." He answered, "Haven't you read what David did when he and his companions were hungry? They entered the house of God, and he and his companions ate the consecrated bread, which was not lawful to them to eat, but was earmarked for the priests. Or haven't you read in the law that the priests on Sabbath duty in the temple desecrate the Sabbath and yet are innocent? I tell you that something greater than the temple is here. If you had known what these words mean, I desire mercy, not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the innocent. For the Son of Man is Lord over the Sabbath." Going on from that place, he went into their synagogue, and a man with a shriveled hand was there. Looking for a reason to bring charges against Jesus, they asked him, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath?" He said to them, "If any of you has a sheep and it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will you not take it out of the pit? How much more valuable is a person than a sheep? Therefore, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath." Then he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." So he stretched out his hand, and he completely restored it, just as sound as the other. At that moment, the Pharisees began to plot how they might kill Jesus. Chapter 15. Aware of this, Jesus withdrew from that place. A large crowd followed him, and he healed all who were ill. Now this is on the Sabbath. It doesn't say how many. It just says he healed all. But he did warn them not to tell others about him. This was to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet Isaiah. And Isaiah said, "Here is my servant whom I have chosen, the one I love, in whom I delight. I will put my spirit on him, and he will proclaim justice to the nations. He will not quarrel or cry out. He will not hear his voice in the streets," meaning he won't be going around bragging and speaking highly of himself. No one will hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out, till he has brought justice through to victory. In his name the justice will put their hope. Verse 22. Then they brought him a demon-possessed man who was blind and mute. And Jesus healed him so that he could both talk and see. All the people were astonished and said, "Could this be the son of David?" Okay, right there I'm going to go to my notes. The Pharisees saw the miracles that Jesus performed. They were watching him constantly. We can gather that they saw a lot of them, even if not all of them. A lot of them, even if they didn't see all of them. We can figure that they knew better than to accuse him of working miracles by the power of Satan, but that's exactly what they did. When they brought him before the demon possessed, but the Pharisees said, "It is only by Beelzebub, the prince of demons, that this fellow drives out demons." Jesus replied to him, "How can Satan cast out Satan?" That's right. That would be a divided house, and every kingdom divided with itself will be ruined. If Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. That's Matthew 12:25 and 27. And in Matthew 12:31, he tells the Pharisees, this is important, every sin and blasphemy can be forgiven of people but the blasphemy against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
If we look at the Ten Commandments, the Lord, thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain, is one of those commandments.
Mm-hmm.
But we can be forgiven for any one of those sins,
That's right.
including taking the Lord's name in vain. Now, taking the Lord's name in vain isn't what we all assume that it is, and what we've heard people say. Using the Lord's name in vain is any way that we say it
That's right.
that does not bring glory to Him.
Amen. That's right.
Good.
That is good.
You hear people all the time say, "Oh my God,"
Yes.
when they're frustrated.
Yes.
That's taking His name in vain.
That's right.
In Matthew 12:32, whoever speaks against the Son of Man can be forgiven.
Yes.
You talk about me all you want to. You tell them, you talk about me, you badmouth me, you say whatever you want to about me, and you can be forgiven for that. But whoever speaks against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven either now or in the ages to come.
That's right.
Okay, now we need to look at this. Very important. To whom was he speaking? He was speaking to the Pharisees. He wasn't talking to us.
Do-gooders.
There's not a place in the Bible that he says these same words to his disciples, to his followers, any of the crowds he's preaching to. You've never heard him say this. But he says it to the Pharisees. We don't have to be Bible scholars to know that when Jesus was speaking these verses, Matthew 12:25 says, he said to them. He said to them. More precisely, identifying them, saying he knew their thoughts. The Pharisees. He was responding to their preposterous claims that he was driving out Satan by the power of Satan. He was speaking specifically to them, to the Pharisees. He was basically like when we were kids, and we might get a little mouthy with one of our parents. And they'd cut their eyes at us and they'd go, "Be careful. Watch your mouth now. Watch your mouth." Your rear end's getting ready to write a check that your rear end can't cash. Okay? What he's doing with the Pharisees. He's telling them, watch your mouth. You're getting ready to cross the line, but you can't go back across. So these statements that he made to the Pharisees, how does that apply to us? They were spoken to the Pharisees. They weren't spoken to the disciples. They weren't spoken to the crowd. They weren't spoken to any of his followers. So how does that apply to us? The only way it applies to us is if we ever give Satan credit